Okay. Impromptu stream. Is this working? Hello, everyone that's in here so far. Let me make sure everything is working. I think that it is. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Ram. Cotton Farmer. How's it going, guys? How's it going? Hey, Juice. What's up, Juice Box? Oh, my hair's doing weird things today, guys. I had it in a hat, and now we're just chilling. So, Sandy, hey, how's it going? Let's introduce some people as they are joining. Juicebox, if you could let me know if the sound is okay, that would be fantastic. As I welcome some people in here. Hello from Tucson, Arizona. Not if that matters. It does matter. Welcome from Tucson. I've always wondered about the Brian Laundrie's trip and why we didn't see more footage from cameras. That's a good point. Hopefully someday we will have more footage. Obviously, if they make a documentary about the Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito situation, we're going to get all sorts of footage, I'm sure. The sound is okay. Thank you. Katarina? Sorry if I butchered that. Hey, how's it going? Good day from Australia. Hello, Australia. What is it? Early morning there? Early afternoon? Right before lunch? What time is it in Australia? Alexa, what time is it in Australia?
Australia has multiple time zones.
Of course.
In Sydney, it is 9:29 a.m.
Cool. If you're in Sydney, it's 9:29 a.m. I should have known multiple time zones. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello from Indiana. Hat hair is always welcome. I'm going to get into this in a moment. And guys, this is going to be a shorter stream than normal. I just wanted to hop on here and talk about this case that I don't think is getting, obviously, it's a new case somewhat. Jashyah Moore. She's been missing for quite some time now, but I feel like finally the case is starting to pick up some steam in the media. And I feel like it's only right if we're going to talk about missing people and cases like this, especially around the Gabby Petito case, that we give other cases some of our effort and some of our time, right? And so though I don't know much about this case, I started to look into it and I was like, you know what? I should just live stream me kind of looking into this case for the first time, going over some of the maps around the area in which Jashyah was last seen. And I started to pick up on some things, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to live stream. There are a ton of cameras, and not that that necessarily matters at all. And obviously the cameras in the thumbnail are like cameras, like intersection cameras, and I'm not even entirely sure how those work. But I was looking around, and I had to stop because I was seeing a lot of additional cameras besides just those. And so we're going to go through that together in the stream. But before we do that, I'm going to let some more people join. We got 41 people in here. If you guys could hit the like button on the way in, it helps the stream push out into the YouTube algorithm for more potential new viewers to see. I know I'm seeing some names in the chat, some people that have been here before, so thank you for joining again. But hitting the like button definitely helps new people find the stream, and that's super helpful. So before we get started, I'm going to introduce or talk to some people as they're joining a bit more, and then we're going to get into the case, and we're going to watch a couple videos. We're going to learn a little bit more about the case, and then we're going to jump in. So hello from Indiana, Netherlands. You're looking good. Can't wait for some maps. Thank you. It's been a kind of a crazy day, so it feels good to and also it feels good to sit down and just kind of chill. Also, I got a few comments about slurping my coffee on stream, and I just want to say my apologies. I didn't realize how loud it was, so I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to sip the coffee off to the side. But anyways, someone said that there was a group of 4 people watching on like a 50-inch TV, and they all had to stop watching my last stream. And I thought, that's a bit dramatic. But then I went to the comment and clicked where they said that it happened, and I heard it, and I thought, you know what? If I came through like a sound bar or a speaker, like a high quality speaker, it would have been intense. So anyways, hello to the people that have joined. Hello from the UK, Ontario, Canada, Cali, California, Texas, Tasmania, another Tasmania. Or I guess that's probably the same. Tony Lee Blair. Portugal. Wow. 10:29 p.m. Anyways, hello to the people joining. Let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to learn a little bit about this case together. I'm going to play this video. I don't know how much of this I'm going to play, but then we're going to jump into the map. So let's get this started. Let's learn about the case, or learn about, this missing person, Jashyah Moore.
Was last seen more than 3 weeks. The mayor of East Orange and police officials are giving an update on a missing teenager. 14-year-old Jashyah Moore was last seen more than 3 weeks ago.
I think he mispronounced her name. Jashyah? I think it's Jashyah. Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
At Poppy's Deli on Central Avenue. Let's listen in.
26 days ago. Since then, the East Orange Police Department, the FBI, the New Jersey State Police, the Essex County Sheriff Department, and the Essex County Prosecutor's Office have been actively conducting a joint investigation to ensure Jashyah is returned to her home safely. Jashyah is one of us, and we are doing everything we can.
Sorry, I had to pause. Jashyah? Why is he saying Jashyah? Everyone's saying her name differently. It's Jashyah, right?
To make sure.
Guys, if we're looking for missing people, we need to be saying their names correctly. So let's start with that. Hopefully I'm saying it correctly, but my goodness, this is like a press conference. People are going to be like, Jashyah? And like,
that she
I don't think that's right. Anyways.
Returns home. The previous award for $10,000 as an offer by the Essex County Sheriff Department, Sheriff Armando Ventura, Crime Stoppers, has been increased to $15,000 by an anonymous donation from a local East Orange business owner. The family has also organized a second search party that will begin at 5 p.m. today on the corner of Amherst Street and Central Avenue. And we are planning an interfaith prayer service with our East Orange clergy and our East Orange council members and the community on Friday at 5:30 at City Hall, right in front of City Hall. Again, Jashyah is one of our own. She is only 14 years old, and we know she needs our help. And what we're doing, we're asking the community, as we have been asking from day one, to help us in locating this young lady. As we stand here today with our chief and Captain Martin and Sergeant Powell, they have really been taking aggressive initiative around our city and other resources to make sure that we try to find those people who have seen her last. But also, we're also asking the community to come on out and really help us if they have seen this young lady.
Okay, so I'll come back to this video in a little bit, likely. I don't know what he goes on to talk about there, but I have to ask if anyone in the chat right now is from New Jersey or this area, or if you've been there. I've been to East New Jersey, like right next to New York. I'm not even entirely sure where it was at. We should pull up the maps. But Mimi, you're not very late. We just started, a few minutes ago. We're talking about the Jashyah Moore case. I don't believe they found her. If they did, then we may turn this stream into a let's check out all the footage from that, because I'm sure that there's some stuff coming out. Don't capitalize the S. They don't capitalize the S. Okay. I was seeing a hashtag earlier that had the S capitalized. I'll have to change that momentarily. But Mimi says, I was raised in Jersey. So do you know anything about East Orange, the area that they're talking about? This is a tweet I came across. anyways, if anyone's from Jersey or has been to that area, let me know in the comments what the area East Orange is like, just so we can get an idea. I've never been. Some people were tweeting me this last night, and obviously I was just coming across it. Even Joseph Petito, Gabby's dad, posted this last night, basically letting people know her last known location, which we're going to go outside of that area on Google Maps momentarily. But she was last seen at the Poppy Deli store. Also, they're capitalizing S in a lot of these. Anyways, I'll keep it capitalized right now. But Jerry, let me know if that's correct, incorrect. Mimi says East Orange is really bad. Lots of gangs and drugs, just like Newark. Oh, Newark is where I was at, I believe. Wait, Newark is where I flew into. Wherever the stadium was at, Mimi, where the Jets and the Giants play, I was staying right across from that, and then we were doing like a conference more close to New York. But anyways, you were raised in Jersey. Okay, so thanks for that insight. Mimi says East Orange is really bad. Lots of gangs and drugs. So that's unfortunate. So when we think about this area, hopefully, gosh, that's unfortunate that it's a rough area. And Alicia, thank you. Please hit the like button on your way in. That is correct. We're close to 90 people at this point. Already over half of you guys have hit the like button. So thank you. Shannon, I'm really proud of what Joe Petito is doing. Yeah. What's wild is that Joe Petito is, not even 2 months removed from having the body of his daughter found in a case that was just globally just supercharged into the stratosphere in terms of attention on his situation. And for him to take his platform that he has through all of this and shed light on not only this, but I know he's posted about other situations. I look at that and I saw his tweet from last night and I was just like, I have to live stream about this. And so, we're here, we're doing it. Obviously, this stream may not get the same amount of attention that a Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie stream will get. And I'll just be honest with you guys right now. I'm not worried about that. I kind of fell into this YouTube stuff, and I think it only makes sense to use the platform to spread awareness for everybody. And I'm looking into there's some people talking about Indigenous people that have gone missing in Canada specifically. There's like there's so much around that. And so someone's been going back and forth with me on that. And so I'm thinking of doing something along that story, those multiple stories as well. Mimi, I'm going to share BRB. Thank you. But yeah, anyways, shout out to Joseph Petito. And thank you guys for being here, liking the stream, getting it out there to other people, and also being interested in learning more about this case, because it's there's too many situations. And if you guys saw my video yesterday about almost being kidnapped when I was a child, I point to a couple articles in that talking about how many people go missing every year, and it's wild. But anyways, shout out to Joseph Petito there. We're going to go ahead and listen to this video. This is, I believe, Jashyah's aunt, and she's talking about, and I haven't heard this yet, but apparently the detectives lacked urgency and got distracted with snacks when they were supposed to be viewing surveillance footage at the deli that she was last seen at. I don't know if this is true, but that is... yeah, that's pretty wild. So let's listen to this short video here real quick. That's something deeper than just missing people. I'm very into... Yes, MMIW. That's what a lot of people have been reaching out to me about. So I'll have to look more into all of that in general. So let's listen to this video. I think this is Jashyah's aunt.
I feel as though not enough urgency was had. Not enough was being done. I think especially when we were talking to those detectives in that bodega, they were like, oh no, the minute a missing person happens, you report it initially. This is not like the movies where you wait 24 hours, 72 hours or anything like that. But the thing was in that, I felt like there was a lack of urgency because when we were in that bodega and talking to those officers, they, like, one at a time, started buying snacks, walked out of the bodega. The owner had to chase them and say, hey, look, you originally came here to see these cameras. And it reminded them, like, oh, yeah, that's right. To me, if you're here for a job and you're taking it seriously, you wouldn't forget your purpose for being here. Mm-hmm. And so I started to see, like, that was the initial hint. And I'm trying to be objective. I'm not trying to blame anybody or say that people aren't doing their jobs. But personally speaking, from what I've seen at that point, I was like, oh, no, there might not be enough urgency with what's going on here. And also, as people from the community are calling us, which we're the numbers on the flyers, they're like, look, I have the number for this person, call them so we can start getting the ball moving because they're not doing enough for us either. Like, you know what I mean?
So other people who have missing persons began calling you too?
Yeah, we had advocates, just people from the community, people who know my sister, my niece.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. If that's true, okay. So first of all, they were saying, did they say at the beginning that the cops were already telling her, like, it's not the movies, like you did a bad job of reporting her missing? Like, okay, come on. Is that what they said? Did she say, like,
not enough urgency was had, not enough was being done? I think especially when we were talking to those detectives in that bodega, they were like, oh no, the minute a missing persons happens, you report it initially. This is not like the movies where you wait 24 hours, 72 hours or anything like that.
So they were already basically telling them, oh, you didn't report it immediately. Why did you wait? First of all, we don't even know, like, and I've seen some people's comments come through that, you know, Cotton says clues. We need clues. Gabby's case had so many clues, and that really helped everyone go to, you know, figure out what happened. There are probably some clues here, but, you know, we don't know her situation. We don't know, like, her family situation. And so the fact that these detectives and officers were even here to look at the most obvious clues that we could get, which were security camera footage at the bodega or at the place that she was last seen, and they're completely apparently glossing over that because they're, like, screwing around with snacks. That is truly messed up, because those are the initial clues, right? Imagine if we had potentially crystal clear footage of Brian Laundrie or Gabby Petito and people just overlooked it. Yikes. So with that said, and we're going to jump around here. I want to go to the city of East Orange. On the map, this is where it's at. So actually this looks really close to Newark. So right here is where I was at. Also, Cindy, yes, smash that like button. We're over 100 people in here now, and we could definitely hit that 100 like mark. So if everyone hits that like button, thank you, Cindy. Anyways, this is the area in which this all took place, right? And I would assume that maybe she lives near here as well. I'm not sure if she came to the spot where she ended up being, you know, going missing on foot, but this is where she was last seen. It was Poppy's Deli. You can't really see the full branding up on the wall here, but it looks like it's just a general store of some sort. It reminds me of the kind of the place that George Floyd's situation happened, kind of just an all-encompassing kind of general convenience store. It looks like you've got like fried chicken, or this may be a different spot right here, but everything seems kind of connected. But even like the Poppy's Deli, you've got like, yeah, you got lottery signs, you've got wraps, sandwiches. They sell boar's head meat. That's really good meat in there as well. So just a general store, right? It's like a bodega kind of, but not as small like in New York, right? I don't know enough about those types of stores, but this is the area that it happened, okay, that she was last seen. And apparently there's Dunkin' across the street. Apparently the cops were here at Poppy's looking at footage, and they completely, I want to know if that's true. I mean, I would assume it is. I mean, this is apparently Jashyah's aunt. Wow. Anyways, I want to know if that's true, because if they were in here looking at footage, and they overlooked that and they were too worried about snacks, like, shame on them. They shouldn't have their jobs. But I wanted to point out a few things. Okay. Now, Shelly just said, do we have street camera, CCTV? That's what this stream is about. And I know we're already diving into it. We're already kind of overlooking a few things, because I know Cotton was also talking about clues. There are other things that people have talked about with this case. We're going to go back into some of those potential parts of the case, but I wanted just to highlight the cameras in this, because I think that there should 100%, without a doubt, be a way to find out if she left with someone or if she left by herself, because I started to look at cameras and I'm counting quite a few. So we'll go into that, because it sounds like she had potentially a stepfather or a father figure that potentially could have taken her. And we'll go into some of that footage maybe at the end, but let's move around, and I'm going to try to move slowly. There's a lot of people that also have commented that I move sometimes too quickly and they get dizzy. So apologies, but we're going to move around. Okay. And if someone has anything to message me, I know Mimi is super active in the chat and she seems like she has a lot of great knowledge about potentially the case even. I heard they found the man that paid for her stuff and ruled him out. Okay. So yeah, if anyone has information and you have a Twitter, that's the quickest way to reach me during a stream. My Twitter handle is right here, right below me. That's the easiest way to reach me. DM me or tweet me anything, and I'll be keeping my Twitter open on the side of the stream, and I'll be looking at that throughout the stream, and just maybe let me know if you've sent me a tweet or something in a comment, because we can always jump to interviews or anything about the case throughout the stream. I also have down below a Google form that you can submit future case ideas or other things to as well. That's a little bit more detailed. But anyways, let's jump into it. So you might need to pause it, but that's my Twitter right below me if you want to send me anything during the stream. Let's go ahead. So obviously we know we've got the area. Corinna, magic map man. Now, if we look around, these are street cameras, and I need to look into see how these work a little bit better. If they record 24/7, or if they are on like a sensor, or if it's just, I don't know. I don't know how these work, and I don't know like the aspect ratio or like the size that they shoot. I'm drawing a blank on all these camera things, and I should know all of this. This is what I do. But I don't know if this is a super wide focal length. There we go. So this could be a much tighter focal length, like zoomed in, if you know what I'm saying. So like this camera in particular may not catch this sidewalk. It could be looking much more just down the street to be getting license plates. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know about these cameras that are all up here, but we've got 1, 2, and this one doesn't face the store, but it still could potentially get her walking down the street on the left or the right side of the sidewalk, right? So we never know. These could still be valuable camera angles. 3, 4, 5, and once again, each of these are facing in different directions, but you never know if she was walking from one of these streets or from down the street. It could have gotten her coming to the store. So yeah, we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potential street cameras. And so if we go just directly across the street to the wonderful place that is Dunkin' Donuts, and we zoom in, the first thing I see, and it's kind of hard to see it, but inside this square right here is also a camera. And I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but if I come over here on the street and I come up a little bit the street here, you can see it a little bit better right underneath this corner. Now, and Alicia says, our traffic cams here only take a photo when they go through a light. Okay. And now that she's up in Canada, so Canadian traffic lights, I believe, only do that. So that's good to know. I'll have to look into the traffic lights. But this camera here, a lot of these cameras that are like mounted in the corner of buildings, I know for a fact have very wide focal lengths. So they'll have like a 90 degree view to where it's like getting almost everything to the right and to the left and straight up and straight down. So though the store that she's at is across the street and this camera is relatively far away, there's a camera here and a camera here that could at the very least catch someone coming out. Like if they knew what she was wearing, if they knew, you know, like what color of shirt she has, they could have potentially been able to see that. So those are two cameras that are facing kind of the front of the Dunkin' Donuts that would possibly have a good chance at getting across the street. Cindy says, Aaron, where is this at? So this is in East Orange, New Jersey, just west of Newark, and west of New York City. So New York City's probably only like a 30 or 40 minute drive, depending on the traffic. And Mimi has said in the comments that it's kind of a rough part of town. So now we know that. But this is the Jashyah Moore situation, and we're outside right now on, I don't know if you were asking specific street, cross streets, Cindy, but we're in East Orange at the corner, at the intersection of Halstead and what is this street behind me? And Central. Also, thank you guys for hitting the like button 100 times. To the 151 people that are in here, thank you very much. You guys are incredible. Keep hitting that like button. Really, really appreciate it. Juicebox says, how long has she been missing? I believe she's been missing for like over 3 weeks. And that's why I'm like, well, how did I just now find out about this case? And like, and I know that there's just so many people that go missing, and so it's hard for cases like this to gain steam in the media. But I believe she's been missing, and Mimi says about a month. So yeah, I don't know. And Mimi also said she sent me something on Twitter, so I'll check that out in a second, Mimi. We're gonna do a bit more searching, and we're gonna find maybe a couple more cameras in the area. I don't know if this is a camera above here. I doubt it. These are solar panels on here. Oh, hey, Kays. Got to go check my dinner. No worries. Thank you for stopping by. But this right here is huge. This is huge. These cameras, like I said, even if they're completely wide angle lenses, should be able to pick something up from across the street. Now, if we go over here, this is a bit further down the street. Actually, no. We're right here at the Bootleggers, and it looks like I already see another camera. Look at this one. That looks like a camera to me. Oh, and here's another one. Guys, 100%. It should be no question that each of these businesses, and I know that there's always a legal way of getting out of, providing footage, but like there's another camera right here. They should 100% have to provide this information. And it sounds like the cops were absolutely sleeping on the camera footage that they were looking at from the actual Poppy's Deli. Like, right? If I know that there's some new people in here, this is Jashyah's cousin, and we played this video. If you want to go back, if you just joined the stream, she mentioned that the cops in Poppy's Deli were looking at the footage and apparently getting distracted with snacks when they should have been looking at the footage in the deli in the first place. So they're probably not paying attention or trying to get all of this footage, but it should be, without a question, required, and everyone should be working together. I don't know. I hope that the community there is coming together and realizing that there are so many potential cameras that could have caught her. And look, this did happen several weeks ago, so they need to get on it quick, because some of these cameras only record 2 weeks at a time before they start deleting some of their stuff, some of their footage. Jerry says almost a month ago, October 14th. Thank you, Jerry. And I'm going to go into my Twitter and see if Mimi hit me up with something. I don't see it. I don't know if Mimi hit me up with something. But Kristen shared the stream, so thank you, Kristen. But anyways, so I'm fired up about this because, and I'm sure the parents are as well. I would be out here like begging, and I know Dunkin' Donuts can't always just release their footage like that, but I would be pleading with local businesses like this to just like check the tapes, because you'd never know what you can see. So let's go down the street again. Obviously, okay, so there's a Rite Aid over here as well, and it looks like they usually have cameras. Yeah, so there's a camera right up on the wall at the Rite Aid. And now look, this Rite Aid, yeah, it's just across the street. We're looking at just right over here. You have to imagine that the camera, like, see how I can zoom in on this camera? The Rite Aid, what I'm talking about when I say a super wide focal length field of view, it would be as if the camera looked like this, like super zoomed out. Oh, not that far. Super zoomed out, super wide, getting like everything in the parking lot, right? Because they don't want to zoom in on their parking lot and only have like 3 stalls covered with their footage. So I would assume that the Rite Aid's footage is probably something like this, looking over to the business, because we're about the same distance away, maybe even a little further. So see that camera that's on the wall right there, probably looking out towards the parking lot, looks something like this. So at the very least, you could maybe see people I mean, look, there's a guy right here. It's very small on the screen, but you can see a guy with a jacket with a white sleeve, and that's enough to know that it's a male with a white sleeve. I mean, this could be a female technically, but you know, and look right there, there's another guy. It's really hard to see, but it looks like a guy with a black jacket and a blue hood or a cap. So now if we zoom in, there it is. Like, even with a super wide focal length, like, we can still see what we need to see. We see someone here with light blue jeans on and a green jumpsuit. And then, like, look, light blue jeans, green jumpsuit. Like, people are like, are the cops looking for her? I would be begging. Someone said I would be begging for, someone said I would be begging for their help or something like that. I've already missed it, but Cindy, really hope they save the footage. Yeah, me too. Juicebox, cops need stricter training or testing, in my opinion. They, just like any job, it has lazy people who don't do their job well. Exactly. Like, I don't know. You would, and look, I'm sure that there's someone that's passionate about this case, that is working this case, right? You would hope that there's someone in that community that's like fired up about getting out there and making sure that everything is done for this girl. But I don't know, right? I hope. Someone said, probably has to go through corporate. Yeah, corporate. Yeah, Alicia, it is frustrating. And I know that that's just the way it is. Sometimes, you know, things need to go through corporate. But you would think that corporate would also just be like, absolutely. They would hear of a case like this. I'm sure they have dozens of requests from people in that area, right? Like, we could, you know what we could do right now? We could call up bootleggers. This is the liquor store right here. Should we call up bootleggers and be like, hey, have you guys checked your cameras to be able to see if you saw anything in mid-October potentially related to the Jashyah Moore case? Like, we could do that as well. And I'm sure that there are people that are doing that, but it's like, anyways, I hope that that's the case. Yes, dummy cams are a thing, but a party store is high risk. Yeah, of course there's dummy cams. Yeah. I would assume that obviously, like, places like the Rite Aid, though, those are real cameras, right? So I know what you mean, though, Kara. Also, Tony Blair, can't believe the 10,000 had to be donated. So is that true? There was like a reward, right? And someone donated the 10,000 to bump the reward up. Is that correct? I don't know. Of course, as we go down, we're going to see there's definitely going to be a camera outside the Metro PCS. Yep, there's one right there. And this is one of those super wide sidewalk cameras that's going to get, once again, just a super wide shot of this sidewalk. So once again, I know that we're an entire city block down from where she was at. But if she came from this side of the street and walked in front of the Metro PCS, then, she could have come up on this. So that's another camera. So you guys see where we're going with this stream? I don't know what goes into this stuff. And like I said, I know that there probably is someone looking into this as much as we are here in terms of potential cameras that could have caught somebody. But you never know. I didn't know you were live. Oh, that's okay. That's okay, Nella. Thanks for joining. Yeah. You haven't missed a whole lot. And to be quite honest, it's not going to be the longest stream. We're hopping in. We're looking at all the potential cameras in the area that could have caught Jashyah Moore walking to Poppy's Deli, the day that she last was seen. They are corrupt for sure. Let's get, there's a lot of sketchy stuff that goes on around there, hence all the cameras. Well, that's another thing, guys. There's guys and gals. I always say guys. I hope that's okay. I'm just meaning in general, everybody. Someone said I should say y'all. That's not normal for me to say y'all, though. That would be very difficult. But there are some other cases, and I was talking to a buddy of mine in Vancouver, and I think it's still the case. I think this story was told to me about Vancouver. Downtown, the first time I went to Vancouver, like several years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago, whatever it was, I noticed just how many cameras were in downtown Vancouver. And then my wife's dad mentioned that they installed so many cameras because the Olympics were held there. And I think that that's true. I mean, I think that he was probably told that by a credible source. But in downtown Vancouver, it's so many areas, even certain like alleyways, you're always going to be on camera. And I don't know if I think they kept a lot of the cameras still since the Olympics. I think they had the Winter Olympics there many years ago. But in cities like that, even if it's not in an area where a lot of crime happens, because I know Tony says, hence all the cameras, some places just should have cameras all the time. I think some people are worried about their personal privacy in some way, but look, you're going to show up on cameras regardless. And like, wouldn't you like to know that everything is covered if you happen to be a part of a crime or a victim of a crime in some way? So Vancouver is an example of that. And then there was somebody, I think in Australia, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was either Australia or New Zealand, but it was the case, and I'm drawing a blank on her name, but it was somebody who was on a Tinder date who ended up going home with this guy, and he killed her, and he ended up buying a bunch of suitcases. I think this is awful. I think he chopped her up into pieces and literally, he brought her back down in several different suitcases. He completely was on camera the entire time. I think from the moment that they had their Tinder date, they were on camera going to the next bar to get a drink, to the restaurant to get a bite to eat, to his, to his apartment complex. And then literally the next day you see him going out, and you see his entire route all the way until he gets to, the place where he buys cleaning supplies. He goes to the dry cleaning. He buys the luggage that he eventually takes her body out in. Like, all of this stuff, all of what I'm saying here is just to say, like, I'm all for cameras because they could potentially, help out with things like this. Grace Mullane, I believe that's the name, honey. Yes, I believe that's the name. Which, I mean, I don't even need to cover that story. It's just horrific, and so many people have covered that already. But also, beautiful wife just tried to walk in, and I think she freaked out, thinking that she was I mean, she wasn't interrupting the stream, but oh, there she is. You're good. How are you? Good. I'm not going to be streaming too much longer, but yeah, good to see you. Anyways, guys, so let's, I'm trying to think, should we call bootleggers just to ask if they've reviewed any footage? Let me know, guys, if I should call bootleggers. But let's keep searching around. Carly says people sell drugs right down that road to the right and on Center Ave. Look up how many shootings in that area, and it's insane. Very sad. Oh man, that's unfortunate. Watching from the UK. Appreciate all your hard work you put into your videos. Thank you so much, Tina. Hello, wife. All right, let's go down the street a bit more past the AutoZone. I would assume AutoZone has, for sure, a couple cameras. Any of like the main corporate type places, they're gonna have some level of security, which I don't really see anything outside the AutoZone. These look like lights. These look like lights. These look like lights. So maybe nothing in front of the AutoZone. Corinna says, yes, call. Cindy says, yes, call. CBS New York YouTube channel just showed CCTV of her, I think, before she went to the Poppy's Deli. Oh, let's look into that. I'm going to look into that. And I may end up calling the bootleggers. I don't represent any sort of media company by any means, and so I don't know necessarily how I would approach the conversation. I could, of course, just ask if they've been involved in any extra help in searching for her, or if they've, done that, if they've helped out. Let me look this up real quick. Who mentioned this? CBS New York. CBS New York YouTube, or CBS New York. Jashyah Moore. Let's try to look at the CCTV footage. I'm scared of calling. Yeah, I don't want to. I'll make a fool out of myself, but I don't care. I don't see. I'm gonna look at this.
Watch. Serena Williams, Wonder Woman. Serena, Wonder Woman.
So, hold on. We're going to watch this really quickly, and I'm going to try to find that other video. But this is from CBS News. Not entirely sure what the video... Oh, it's on racial disparities in missing people.
Petito quickly made national headlines, and it renewed Gabby Petito quickly made national headlines, and it renewed a conversation about who gets media attention in missing persons cases. Critics say media coverage often ignores people of color. Consider this. The Black and Missing Foundation says nearly 40% of cases involving people of color, but they rarely make headlines. We're joined now by the foundation's co-founder and CEO, Derrica Wilson. Good morning, Derrica. Now, Derrica, people of color, they go missing, but they rarely get the headlines. Why do you think this is?
Yes, oftentimes when a person of color goes missing, especially when it's a child, they're labeled as a runaway. Runaways are not getting an Amber Alert. They're not getting that sense of urgency where people are looking for them. And when it comes to missing men and women of color, their disappearance is oftentimes associated with some sort of criminal activity. So again, they're not receiving that urgency and the attention as well.
Now, what's the impact of this disparity? Because we can only show what we know, and oftentimes we don't know what's going on local levels.
Well, I think it's a combination. First and foremost, we need law enforcement. We need them to be held accountable and making sure that they're taking these police reports. We need the media to share these cases, and we need the community to come forward. We understand that not every case is going to bubble up to mainstream media. We understand that not every case is going to make the 5 and 10 o'clock news cycle, but less is more. Less of one particular race and more of everyone else that's missing, greater the chances of a reunion. You know, we can name the Natalie Holloway, the Kaylee Anthony, the Lacey Peterson, the Chandra Levy, but no one can name one Black or brown missing person of color in the United States. Not one.
So Gwen Ifill, the late Gwen Ifill, had a phrase for what you're describing. It called it missing white woman syndrome. Can you explain that?
Yes, that term is actually, unless you're, fairly attractive, white, blonde hair, blue eyes, your stories are just not sensational enough. And these families, they're desperate. Over the past few weeks, we've seen the news coverage with Gabby Petito, and our hearts go out to the Petito family. But there's a lot of Gabby Petitos in the Black and brown community. These families are hurting. They're so desperate to find out what happened, and they want to understand, why is that case any different from their missing loved one? Because there is nothing worse than not knowing if your loved one is hurt, if they're being mistreated, if they're cold, if they're hungry, if they're going to walk through the front door again.
Yeah, and that is a question, Derica. Why is their case any different? I still don't understand why there is a difference. Can you really talk specifically about why you think? Is it the media to blame? What do you think?
I really think that we need more diversity in the newsroom. The decision makers don't look like us. And so, we have to fight just to get our stories out there. Our lives are devalued when, families go to law enforcement to report their loved ones missing. And so if you even go on the social media platforms, these families are desperate. They're trying to create their own way of getting the stories out. And sadly, so many families are being victimized when they're creating their own flyers. They're putting their personal information out there, so they're being scammed. They're receiving these calls, these ransom calls. We've had families to lose their entire savings. We've had them to lose their homes because they were scammed out of it. They are so vulnerable.
Now, Derica.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna move on from that. That was a CBS News video, so I wasn't sure if that was the CCTV footage. I did end up finding it. Also, it looks like Alicia found it as well. Thank you, Alicia. I also saw a comment that Alicia hopped on very quickly, wanting to go over a brief synopsis of the case. I mentioned it a little bit at the beginning of this video, but this is we're kind of diving into the case of Jashyah Moore, who is a 14-year-old who went missing on October 14th. Of last month, October 14th, so close to 1 month ago now. They recently raised her reward for information to $15,000, and it's like just now picking up some steam in the media. And one thing that they mentioned in that was like sometimes, minorities that are, missing minorities are wrapped up a lot of times in cases that are like that are associated with crime. And it's like, well, yeah, like even if it is, this is a 14-year-old girl. So like even if she happens to be in a family that has a history with, whatever it may be, like that doesn't mean that's another reason why people should be like wanting to help out with this. It's like, just because it's not this perfect cookie cutter thing, we shouldn't care. It's like, to say that is just ridiculous. And so, and I saw someone say something about, Gabby's following. Karen, show me one of them that had the same following that Gabby had on social media. Gabby had a following on social media, but it really wasn't that big prior to her actually going missing. So many people rallied to have her. And I know that what you mean by that, Karen, is just, this perfect life, this whatever social media presence that she did have definitely helped, because people were able to relate and people were able to see this person, see themselves in Gabby or whatever the case may be. It definitely made the story bigger. But so many people rallied to give and to post or to lift Gabby's social media because she had such a huge following, or because she had such a huge dream of being, being a social media influencer, a blogger, all of these things. So people then followed her so much. If we go to her social blade, I don't even need to do that, but Gabby gained, so many hundreds of thousands of followers during it. So I think a lot of people have this idea that Gabby was this really popular blogger prior. I mean, she was kind of just getting started with it. So there was a lot more to it than that. And Peggy, love your channel, all the new stuff. Great job. Thank you, Peggy. Thank you, Sydney. And Sydney, your comments are so good. I see all your wonderful comments in there. Someone said something about, we're all the same. We should all be treated that way. Cindy, that's such a warm comment. And yeah, Nella, yeah, I was starting to get into the brief synopsis, but that's kind of it. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to this that we know other than she went missing over a month ago. We know the area she was last seen. And in fact, we now have this footage from NBC from just about 20 minutes ago. So this is the photo of her, Sammy. I'll leave this up on the screen for a second. I'll read a couple more comments. Mimi said, it's across the country that police don't care. Yeah, I think Juicebox said it correctly. There are people that are really bad and lazy at their jobs in every job, right? And so I think that police, detectives, all of these law enforcement, people that are involved in these types of cases, they need to be very passionate about their jobs. There needs to not be any lazy people in those jobs. There's always going to be lazy people that are, working at Subway. Because guess what? It's probably not that fun to work at Subway, and you probably don't want to work there in the first place. And that's just the way it is. But you don't get a job to be lazy when it's, when people's lives are at stake, when people's safety, when people's, families are, at stake. So that's, that's all I have to say about that. So this is apparently the CCTV footage. So thanks for mentioning that this was out, and thanks for sending me this, Alicia. I was able to find it. So here's this.
New video of the missing teenage girl from New Jersey. Good evening once again. I'm Maurice Dubois.
Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Christine Johnson. This video showing 14-year-old Jashyah Moore in a deli on the day she went missing.
And now we have learned the reward in the case has grown. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor with the exclusive tonight.
Newly obtained security video from a deli on Central Avenue shows 14-year-old Jashyah Moore enter on the morning of October 14th. She puts some drinks on the counter and also gets some candy. This older man pays for her items. They both leave the store.
Every day come in here, she nice girl. She buy some Kit Kat, she buy 10 Kit Kat every day.
Police say the man seen on the video has been cooperating with them, and so has Moore's stepfather, who's currently involved in a domestic violence case against her mother. After this stop, it appears Moore then went to nearby Poppy's Deli. We talked to the manager who spoke with her that day. His daughter translates for us.
She told him that she lost her EBT card. He told her you can come around 2 p.m. and we can check the camera for you, but she never came. We need to find her!
Today, concerned community members blocked traffic at the intersection near Poppy's.
Currently, we are informing the city and trying to get the city to be outraged to ensure that we bring her back home, safe, sound, and unharmed.
The Essex County Prosecutor's Office and other agencies gave an update saying they initially looked at this as a potential runaway.
We are investigating and looking at all avenues with regards to this case. We are treating it and looking at every lead that could possibly come in.
Last night, her family and neighbors formed their own search party. Her mother insists she did not run away.
She's dependent on me to find her.
Law enforcement also searched this nearby park and body of water, but it turned up nothing. The reward for information is now up to $20,000. In East Orange, Alice Gaynor, CBS 2 News.
And more than 50 members of law enforcement were in the area today, retracing steps and looking into leads.
I mean, I'm sure there are law enforcement there. There needs to be. They need to be retracing not only the steps there, but like possible steps anywhere beyond that area, right? It's like, yeah, and there is definitely a nice community, it seems like, there that are behind her. This guy in particular he already has a shirt, which is incredible, with her age on it. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that needs to be out there. And like Tracy, I've been sharing this on my Facebook. Like, this is great. Like, we need to share this. At the very least, guys, and this is why I asked if some of you are from New Jersey in the first place, at the very least, especially if you're from that area, talk about it, post about it. This is my version of that. Take her photo, post it out there, post the information. Like, what we have now with social media is like, that's where good can be done. Being able to talk to 183 people right now. I'm just having a conversation with you guys. We're all sharing this story, and we'll go on about our lives tonight, but at the very least, we'll know her name, we'll know what she looks like, and the story will be in our heads. And so I mean, she's a child. She's 14 years old. Like, yeah, I don't know. But did I mishear this? They said something about her being somewhere else before she went to the poppies. Hold on, I'm gonna play this again. Sorry, guys. Thanks for all the likes as well. We're at 166 likes. We're almost to 200 people in here. Let's hit that like button so more people can join and learn about the story.
Video from a deli on Central Avenue shows 14-year-old Jashyah Moore enter on the morning of October 14th. She puts some drinks on the counter and also gets some candy. This older man pays for her items. They both.
So that man apparently paid for his items, or paid for her items, sorry. So someone already said they ruled that guy out, but they left together. So do we have footage of them leaving together and then going separate ways? Because that would, you know, I would be like, oh, cool, you can rule him out. But like, who ruled him out? Did they just rule him out because, like, what's the definitive reason? Like, why did they do that, right?
Both leave the store.
Every day come in here, she nice girl. She buy some Kit Kat, she buy 10 Kit Kat every day.
Police say the man seen on the video has been cooperating with them, and so has Moore's stepfather, who's currently involved in a domestic violence case against her mother. After this stop, it appears Moore then went to nearby Poppy's Deli.
Okay, so she went to Poppy's Deli after the first place. Sorry, guys, I live very close to a fire station. Also, it sounds like that guy's been, I must have missed that in the first viewing, but this guy who was spotted in the footage has been cooperative with law enforcement. So it sounds like this guy right here, he's not being ruled a suspect or a person of interest, which is good. The cop said he's cooperating, but I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean he's cleared. Exactly, yeah. That I want to see footage of them leaving and separating, because that would make me feel a little bit better about him not being involved at all. So let's look into this area. So wait, so she was at a deli before she went to Poppy's. I thought Poppy's is the deli. Is there like a separate side? Because there's also this section right here that's like sandwiches. I don't know if this is technically considered Poppy's, if this is all the same. I mean, it kind of looks like it has the same. It's two separate doors though, so I'm not entirely sure. They're right next to each other, both bodegas, kind of like you'd find in a city. I think she just went to Poppy's to ask about the EBT card. Oh, okay, thank you, Carly, thank you. Yeah, she had an EBT card, which is, I think, electronic benefits transfer. I think it's like a food stamps type card, like a credit card type thing. And he's wearing a cap, a hoodie, and a mask. Yeah, that's tough with the COVID stuff. These videos definitely make it I mean, his mask appears to be on his chin.
For her item.
On his chin, but even then, it's like hard to see a great description of his face. Thank you for covering this. Matilda, thank you. Well, thank you for joining. Thank you for stopping by. I had to cover this. There's too many things. It's like, what do you cover, right? And this is the first thing I woke up to. I saw Gabby Petito's father tweet about this last night. I immediately kind of looked into it, and then once I had some free time today, I jumped on. Food stamps, and her mom told to backtrack her steps. Yeah, the mom seems to be out there really diving deep into it as well. I'm going to read some of the comments here. Thank you, Peggy. I really appreciate that. Oh, Mimi, I always share to Facebook. Oh, cool. It's very cool. I'm going to put this on my Facebook as well. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know why they look for kids first, then after evidence is gathered, declare someone a runaway. Yeah, is it a certain age limit that they declare someone a runaway? You know what I mean? Like if it's a kid like 8 years old, are they considered a runaway? Like what do they have to do? Hey CJ, how's it going? Welcome. First time I've seen your name pop up, unless you've been in here already, but thank you. Jerry says he was checked out by cops via numbers, account, and cleared. Okay. Do they know this man? Yeah, it makes you wonder if they... So this is the guy, the restaurant... Or not the restaurant, the Poppy's manager. Well, this is a food court worker. Bassam. So he was working there, and then there's this guy as well. Guy and girl that appear to work there. But yeah, makes you wonder. But yeah, let's look around a little bit more for some cameras. If you guys are just joining, we went around and we saw the Dunkin' Donuts is a very clear and obvious spot that 100%. If we could get these two cameras that are mounted up here, it's hard to see them. They, even though they're super wide cameras, they would be able to get the footage from outside for sure. And then of course we've got the Bootleggers liquor store. There's two cameras outside of the liquor store. Whether or not they're real or not, I'm not sure. Speaking of Subway, here's a Subway. And it looks like, what is this, an ice cream spot? I don't see any cameras here. I'm sure that there's cameras inside. Let's go down the street. I don't know which way she would have walked from. The Dollar Depot. So it's like a little dollar store. I don't see any cameras there. Majestic Furniture. We are also helping as extra eyes. Yes, let me know in the comments if you see a camera that I miss. Looked like one up there for a second. Man, there's a lot going on outside my apartment right now. We'll hit the other side of the street as well. We already checked the AutoZone. I didn't see anything outside the AutoZone. I'm not seeing anything here. But guys, like I said at the beginning, these traffic cameras potentially could have gotten something, even if it is just taking photos. Could have gotten someone, or could have picked up a car or something along the side of the road, even down far, especially if they're zoomed in far. What is this? Beauty supply. Not a whole lot of cameras down to this end of the block. It looks like there's one there. Yeah, so this one right here isn't gonna, it's very much angled straight down, probably just covering this entrance to the what is this, a jewelry store? Oh, Jersey steel door. I don't know what that is. So that wouldn't really be valuable, because we're talking about really far down the street at this point. So I mean, even these cameras, this camera could be valuable in the sense that she could have gotten out of the deli and walked down this sidewalk and gotten on this camera. So it's like, it's so hard. It's like, if I were there right now, I'd be walking around to every one of these businesses and being like, can you please look into this? So I hope someone is. And once again, we've got cameras facing the intersection down the street. Certainly these could pick up something that maybe was overlooked as well. Holly says on top of building. Oh, there's one right there. Is that a camera? Is that what you were talking about, Holly? Oh no, I thought that was a camera. Let me make sure I didn't miss one, Holly. And like I said, guys, some of these cameras that are way down the street, they're not going to get a clear and accurate photo or an image of someone coming out of the deli down the street, but these down here could just be valuable for just catching someone on the sidewalk. So, well, I would assume the Wells Fargo has something. Oh my goodness, the Wells Fargo doesn't even have? Probably up and under here somewhere. Cindy, exactly. Even if the cameras take snapshots, like that's what I'm thinking. Even if like these traffic cameras that point every which direction, if they can go back, I mean, depending on how that stuff's logged, if they can go back, yeah, there's cameras along the side of the Papa John's. You can see this white one right here. But if they could just go back, maybe she could come up in any of those snapshots. She could have walked right by the Papa John's that day. We don't know. Like, are there any ATMs? That's a good question. Let's look. Let's just look at ATMs in the area. Oh yeah, there's ATMs. There's an ATM. So there's Poppy's right here. There's one inside across the street at the Rite Aid. So this is that Wells Fargo. There's an ATM inside the Pay Depot. Carly says, if someone like a citizen were to go and ask about cameras and footage that wasn't related to the family or wasn't police, I don't think they would release it. Does anyone have experience with that? Yeah, I doubt they would ever release it to the public as well. It's just more of hopefully law enforcement or people that are looking into this should be like, I hope that they should be able to get a warrant for that as well. Yeah, I definitely don't think that everyone is, should be able to just request stuff like that, because people have their businesses to look after. But when it's a case like this, you would think that they would fully rally. This is interesting, just getting a good idea of the area. It looks like the city. What city would this be? Way over here. Oh, that'd be New York, right? If we go way over. Wow, you can see like New York from way over. Way over here. Now I'm lost. There's Newark. All right, here we go. Newark. East Orange. Here we go. We're back in East Orange. I was just kind of getting an idea of the area. Yeah, it really isn't like super. It's not like a huge downtown area, I was looking at a case today on New Jersey courts, and the boy robbed somebody. They found him out who it was by still photos from the cameras, and it was the same area. Yeah, I was told earlier also this area is a super high crime. Mimi said it's a super high crime area. So a lot of that probably happens, and that probably makes this even more difficult when you think about crimes that happen in in an area like this day in and day out. Like, how do you even, you almost tie so many people to it, and you have to rule people out probably so often. Let's see. There's also a big park near there, says Carly. Is there? Let's go to the park real quick. Very high crime area. Oh, says D. Thank you, D. So there's Poppies. There's a park over here. Monty Irvine, Orange Park. Lady Lucia, no phone. That's a good question. I don't know about the phone. I don't know if she had a phone. But her mom said she doesn't have a cell phone. Okay, yeah, thank you, Mimi. I thought I saw that earlier too before I started streaming, but I didn't want to say for certain. So it looks like here's the park. I'd like to know, obviously not the exact area where she lives, but which direction, to kind of think like, did she walk down this street from the east or from the west? Like, which way did she come from? Because, yeah, it's just right down here. Poppy's right there. The Duncan is the biggest one that's probably got the best cameras overall that they're facing the front of the store. Even if there's a full parking lot at Dunkin', you could probably see past them. Yeah, these cameras right here that are angled that way and one facing more towards us, they have to be wide enough. What did she buy? I'm not sure, Nella, what she bought this particular time. I think they mentioned potentially what it was. The owner of the little bodega spot said that she would get Kit Kats a lot, I think. Let's see if they say what she bought again real quick.
A deli on Central Avenue shows 14-year-old Jashyah Moore enter on the morning of October 14th. She put some drinks on the counter and also
So it looks like she got some sort of like orange soda or orange juice. I would assume soda. And then like maybe like a smart water or vitamin water or something, like a Powerade type thing.
And also gets some candy.
And some candy. Okay, so yeah, some like...
This older man pays for her items.
So yeah, some candy. It says they left together, but they ruled him out. So I don't know. Guys. Let's look at this real quick. Let's read through this real quick. I don't know why this baby doesn't have a phone. Kids at 5 have a phone these days. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe her parents, or maybe she didn't, she had to save up for a phone and she just wasn't there yet. I don't know. Some parents give their kids phones at super early ages. Some parents make their kids buy their phones. I don't know. Carly, she is looking down like she's uncomfortable or embarrassed. Yeah, she was kind of looking down almost as if she knew she wasn't going to be able to pay for it or something. Or she was maybe looking down at the candy. Oh, right there, though, maybe. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, though. Why can't she have one for safety purposes? No, I get that. I mean, as much as I wouldn't want my kid to have a phone at an early age, it's also like, I need to be able to find you. Yeah, possibly can't afford it. You never know. Maybe they couldn't afford it. Yeah. If she was using a food stamps card, it makes sense she might not have a phone. Yeah, exactly. You never know. He would be my prime suspect. Yeah, I want to... You know what? That's a good question. Well, I don't know if I'm going to do a poll, but Shelly brings up a good point. The guy that bought her the snacks, even though he's cooperating with law enforcement, I think is obviously the prime suspect. He apparently left, with her, so that would be my prime suspect as well. Can you slow down the info? The info? What do you mean? Just in general? Sorry if I'm rushing, Mimi. I'm all over the place. I apologize if I'm rushing over things. But no, I was going to go into this right here. So this is the New York Post article talking about the reward being bumped to $15,000 in a desperate search for a New Jersey teen who vanished during a trip to a deli near her home. So yeah, she clearly lived near there. Poppy's Deli. I wonder if she often would go there. It's like that. Is that? I mean, obviously the deli owner said like she would get candy there often, but did she often go with her mom and she just happened to not go with her mom this time? Or did she often go alone? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, was it enough to where people started to notice that there's this girl, relatively young, always showing up here alone? I don't know. I wouldn't buy candy if I run away from home. Sorry for my English. Oh, Nella, your English is fine. Yeah. It's perfect. Oh, but you're saying, yeah, if you ran away from home, I wouldn't just go buy candy. Yeah, exactly. It seems a bit odd. Yeah. She had 3 drinks. Obviously, she bought 2 of them for maybe her friends. Maybe she was meeting them. I don't know. That's a good point. Mysterious. It is a bit mysterious. I mean, I've gotten several drinks for myself before. If I know, like, all right, I'm going to have a coffee now, and then I'm going to have a water. Like, if I'm going on a road trip or something, I'll buy several drinks for a long road trip. But that's a good point. She got several drinks. They all looked a little bit different too. So maybe she was planning to meet up with someone. Didn't her dad say he was supposed to pick her up from school? Jen, that's a good question. A lot of people are suspicious about the dad, but I don't know if he's been cooperating with this as well, with the case. After the shopping, she came back home. So the shopping spot was just the last place she was seen on camera. Is that what you're saying, Paulina? Mimi says, I was wondering if he ever looked up at the cameras or if he was avoiding the cameras. I don't know. Let's look into that. Also, Cotton says, is there a registered sex offender alert in her neighborhood or around it? We'll get into that. I'm sure it's bad. I mean, almost every major suburb of a major city, it's awful when you look into those numbers of how many offenders live there. So maybe we could look into that. I don't know what it is. If I should show those people on stream, maybe I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? I mean, they're offenders for a reason. It needs to be known. But let's look into this real quick. Or we'll go back to this real quick and see if he looked up, because Mimi was asking if it appeared that he was looking up at the camera or trying to avoid the camera. So let's look at that real quick. I'm not going to play the volume just because we've played it several times. Oh, wait, this is the guy that ended up paying for her food with the blue bill on his hat. It looks like they walk in together too. Yeah, they're walking in together. He looks back at her. This is Jashyah. Look, there he is again. The white hat with the blue bill. His mask is on his chin. And he pays for the food, the snacks, and walks out. I don't think it seemed like he was actively avoiding cameras, Mimi. It didn't seem like that in that case. He's also on his phone. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Obviously, if he was taken in for any level of questioning, it's like, did they ask what he was saying at that time? Did they get the text that he was firing off? Like, what was he saying at that point? Because I just would love to know how they completely ruled him out just by cooperating. But anyways, let's look into the sex offender list real quick. This is going to be bad. He doesn't want to be seen with her, it seems. It does seem a little weird. Look, I'm weirded out by the guy. I'm still weirded out by the guy. Like, the big thing is, like, did she hang out with this guy often? Does the family know this guy? Like I was saying earlier, does she go to Poppy's by herself a lot, or does she go with friends? Like, is he a person that they know? Like, because that would make me feel a little bit more comfortable dismissing him, potentially, if it's like someone that that she hangs out with. So we got some registered sex offenders in the East Orange area. Yeah, so specifically, let me look at the map here. One second. I'm going to try to find the exact cross street and see. We are on Central Ave. Yeah, it's going to be hard to pinpoint it, but I mean, this general direction or this general area, it appears that this is kind of the area that we're at. Yeah, this is a fair amount. I mean, but like I said, this is pretty normal, unfortunately, for suburbs outside major cities in the U.S. Yeah, I mean, you can click and see names. You can see tattoos, age, all of it. And yeah, exactly, Carly. A lot of sex offenders in that area aren't even going to be registered. Angela, hello, Angela. How are you? Thank you for joining. This is somewhat of a short stream tonight. I'm not going to be on too much longer, but we dove in a little bit. We didn't go super deep, but we dove in a little bit to the Jashyah Moore case, and we kind of talked a little bit about the case, introduced some people that weren't familiar. I wasn't super familiar at the beginning of this, and I know a little bit more now. We went outside of the last place that she was seen on camera just to get kind of a lay of the land. Mimi and some others from the New Jersey area and that know the area well have chimed in and helped us better paint a picture. It's apparently not a really great area. And so we kind of are, getting an idea of this area. And then I went through, obviously, you can replay the footage and go back if you so choose, Angela, but we went through and found cameras in and around this entire area that potentially could have picked up, Jashyah on her trip to the Poppy's Deli. So, anyways, Jeanette, yeah, those are sex offenders. So many, yeah. And then now, Angela, as you were coming in, we were looking at the registered sex offenders in that area. This is just East Orange specifically is what we're looking at in New Jersey. Someone else said something. Someone said go see your wife. Who was that? Sammy, you need to go see your wife. Yes, I'm gonna go hang out with her soon. We gotta eat as well. So let me quickly make sure she's not in any sort of a class or something. So hold that thought. I'll be right back. This is my my raccoon cam. I have this little raccoon thing that hangs out on my screen, and it should mute my mic, so I'll be right back. Beautiful wife wants wings. So we're going to order some wings. Or she's going to. So we're going to munch on some wings. So hold on one second. Okay. Anyways, what are some people saying? So obviously we have some new people joining. Thanks for joining. We hit 200 likes. That's cool. Thanks for everyone who's hit the like button at one point or another during the stream. Chloe's mom says, can someone please give a brief update? So, yeah, we're basically going into the case of Jashyah Moore. Obviously, you can scroll back in the stream if you'd like to, but this is a missing person out of New Jersey. So she's 14. She went missing almost a month ago. And we're just kind of talking and chatting about the case overall and just kind of going into it. People are bringing up some interesting things, and that's why we are on the registered sex offender list, just looking at the area. We went into some maps looking at the area, and we're just kind of going into it. Nella, does Aaron post on Twitter if he's going live? I should post more on Twitter if I'm going live. You know what? I'm going to do that from now on. So yes, follow me on Twitter. It's right down there below. And I will try to do better at posting, because sometimes hitting the subscribe button and the bell notification, which are right down below, that doesn't work. Which, if you're here and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that while you're here. Gently tap the like button as well. Don't smash it. Gently tap it. Let's see here. I think the bell button didn't work for me this time. Oh. Well, you did. You've already subscribed and tapped the bell. I appreciate that. So that's the bell's fault. That's not your fault at all. Let's look at a few things. I want to look at that interview again. Which interview are you talking about, Mimi? We'll play the interview. I know that there's some people that haven't seen it. Wait, have we seen this yet?
Tracy Strahan, News 4, New York. This community are taking this missing.
Have
And
we
we're coming
watched
to you,
this?
Adam, from the deli where Jashyah Moore was last seen. And even though the acting Essex County prosecutor is expected to offer up new details in this investigation, people in this community are taking this missing person search into their own hands. There were flyers and posted and distributed all over this area earlier this morning by a business owner right near the area of Poppy's Deli. That was where Jashyah Moore was last seen on October 14th. Jashyah reportedly returned home after getting groceries here, but she came back out after realizing the credit card that she was using was missing. We saw a community-led search party in the streets of East Orange last night, and a woman offered up a tip claiming to have seen Jashyah about 2 weeks ago. There were also reports that the high school freshman was spotted inside of Poppy's Deli with an adult man before she was reported missing. People we spoke with expressed their concern that missing minority girls are receiving less attention and therefore less is being done about it. With so many details and no results just yet, they're demanding more to be done to find her.
It's nerve-wracking, you know, like how I come in here every day. How is a little girl missing from here? It's always little kids in here.
Hey, I don't know how she got lost like that with all these cameras out here. What's going on? Bring her back.
Let's go.
Jashyah Moore's mother maintains that her daughter did not run away. She fears that she's being held against her will. Her photo has been added to the webpage of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And as we bring you back live again, we are standing by for a news conference from the acting Essex County prosecutor on this investigation. But in the meantime, we know that the reward money has been amped up. It's up to $15,000 for any information that will lead to Jashyah Moore's safe return. We're live in East Orange this morning. Tracy Strahan, News 4, New York.
So that's interesting. So her credit card was missing completely? Where'd her credit card go? I know that it was
Optimum's new 100%.
Sorry. I know it was an EBT card. I don't know how those work entirely, but are they able to track that and see if anyone's using that? I don't know how that's how that's tied to her, or if it's like easy to track. But even that guy in that article said, or in that video said, with all these cameras, how have we not found her? How do we not have more information? And that's kind of why I wanted to go live today. I know that this story is relatively new to a lot of people, and we didn't go super in depth, but I wanted to go live. But why do the mom think she's being held? That's a good question. So let's look at the video of her mom. So, because the mom mentioned something about, she's like convinced she's being held, and it's like, well, what do you know? You know what I mean? What do you know about this that maybe we don't know? Because it would help in the case, obviously, if she really thinks the daughter's being held. It's like, well, what's going on? Janice. Also, Peggy says, I've been at every live stream. Thank you, Peggy. I think the guy in the store took her and instructed her not to look at anyone or else you never know. It's like a debit card with a PIN and you can only buy food. Okay, thank you, Mimi. So technically someone could get a hold of that and still use it to buy food, right? Maybe, hopefully they can track that if someone did take it. And they would need the PIN. Her mom has to contact her caseworker and they can track it like a debit card. Yeah, let's look at the mom's interview here. If she, I believe she was interviewed here.
Would not want me.
I think that this is the
He
mother.
would not want my.
Hold on. Mimi says there was a charge from the stepdad for DV and she was going to testify against him. So yeah, red flag. The mom was testifying against the father for domestic violence situation. Apparently he punched her. Yeah, he punched her in the jaw apparently. So pretty shitty situation. I think this is the mother. Let's listen in.
My daughter, she would not want me to worry.
But Jashyah Moore's mother has been frantic for 2 weeks, ever since her 14-year-old daughter went to the deli around the block from their East Orange home and didn't return.
And she's such a smart girl. She would not stay out overnight.
Jashyah, known as a homebody, was always engrossed in PlayStation and helping her 3-year-old brother with Spider-Man games.
I just downloaded it.
Jashyah downloads it for you?
Yeah, now I can play it.
We're inside the U.S. Food Market on Central Avenue in East Orange. And
That's heartbreaking. Did you guys... Sorry about the sirens. That was her brother. Did you hear him? Now I can't play it?
3-year-old brother with Spider-Man games.
I'm sorry, I paused it. But...
I just downloaded it.
Jashyah downloads it for you?
Yeah, now I can play it.
We're inside the U.S. Food Market on Central Avenue in East Orange. And Jashyah's mother says on the morning of October 14th, about 7:30 a.m., her daughter came here to buy juice and paper towels. When the teen returned home, her mom says she didn't have the family's EBT card for food assistance.
She came back and she said, Mommy, I lost the card. I said, backtrack your steps.
A local salon owner told Jashyah's mom she saw the teen looking sad that morning. And we learned something else from a worker at U.S. Food Market.
Somebody pay for her.
Yeah, somebody come in with her and buy for her.
So somebody was with her and paid for her items?
Yes, he have hat and a mask and all. See.
Police now have the surveillance footage of Jashyah's deli visits. But losing the food card was not the only thing the teen may have had on her mind. Jashyah's aunt says the girl's stepfather is an East Orange cop accused of domestic violence last year when the family was living in nearby Irvington.
I saw him punch my niece twice in the face. They sent me the letter that it was going to grand jury. And I think it's extremely convenient and coincidental that my niece goes missing a couple weeks later.
When we called the East Orange Detective Squad and then the chief's office about the case, we were directed to call the press officer at City Hall. We got voicemail.
My niece is a black Afro-Latina girl. You understand? When you're in a disenfranchised community like a East Orange, a chocolate city, there's a lot of, and I would say, ignoring of black little girls.
Jashyah's mother told us police have searched her house, removed important documents, and also took her phone to dump information. The mom says the teen did not have her own phone.
I feel like they're treating me like I'm not the victim's mother.
Wow. Mimi, that's what you were referring to. Okay. So we've got some people chiming in here at this point saying suspect that he's a cop. Super suspicious. Not just that, it's just the fact that she was testifying against him for a domestic violence situation and then just weeks later, Jashyah goes missing. Like, what's going on there? That video told a lot. And yeah, someone said that she seems she looks genuinely upset, so no foul play with her. I completely agree. I don't really think there's anything to do with the mom here. Obviously the stepdad, that's a different story entirely. That seems very suspicious. Hopefully the cops aren't covering up for him being an ex-cop. Wow. Okay. So that definitely, thanks for, I'm glad that we saw that video. Thanks to who sent me that. Someone also sent me something. Sharon sent me, hopefully this isn't a weird video. It's pulling up super weird. Okay, here we go. Here's another video that Sharon sent me. It's weird that it's pulled up in this way. Look. Oh, we can pull it up full screen.
Girl from New Jersey. Good evening once again. I'm Maurice Dubois.
Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Christine Johnson. This video showing 14-year-old Jashyah Moore in a deli on the day she went missing.
And now we have learned the reward in the case has grown. CBS News' Alice Gaynor with the exclusive tonight.
We saw
Newly
this.
obtained
We saw
security
this.
video from a deli on Central
We'll play it,
Avenue
though.
shows 14-year-old Jashyah Moore enter on the morning of October 14th. She puts some drinks on the counter and also gets some candy. This older man pays for her items. They both leave the store.
Every day come in here, she nice girl. She buy some Kit Kat.
Yeah, we saw this.
Kit Kat every day.
Police say the man seen on the video has been cooperating with them, and so has Moore's stepfather, who's currently involved in a domestic violence case against her mother. After this stop, it appears Moore then went to nearby Poppy's Deli. We talked to the manager who spoke with her that day. His daughter translates for us.
She told him that she lost her EBT card. He told her you can come around 2 p.m. and we can check the camera for you, but she never came.
We need to find her!
Today, concerned community members blocked traffic at the intersection near Poppy's.
Currently, we are informing the city and trying to get the city to be outraged to ensure that we bring her back home, safe, sound, and unharmed.
The Essex.
So, yeah, we saw this video a little bit earlier, but thank you to Sharon who sent me that on Twitter. And speaking of Twitter, we have some people saying, let's share her information, right? I think a couple people have mentioned it. Sammy, a few others. I just retweeted Gabby Petito's father that basically shows her photo, her information, all of that. So guys, if there's anything we can do tonight, besides just this stream, it is sharing the information, sharing just that photo of her. And hopefully this can get figured out here soon. I have to ask, and I know we're going to wrap somewhat soon, but here we go. The question and the poll for the almost 200 people that are here, because we now know a little bit more about Jashyah's situation with her mom and her dad being in a domestic dispute that was going to be taken to court, and then she magically just goes missing. Do you think that Jashyah's dad has something to do with her being missing? I'm just curious. Once again, we're just taking the information that we have here. Anyways, and we're running with it. And also, I see Deb. Hello, Deb. Thanks for joining. And I see you commenting, where are all the watchers only for Gabby? Look, there's still 200 people in here. And the fact that 200 people care enough to continue watching, I think that still says something. And to the people that are here, seriously, thank you. Share the information out there, not only the stream, but share, like I said, the photo if you have social media, obviously beyond just YouTube. That goes a long way. And so, Deb, I appreciate you being here, not only for this live stream, but for the Gabby live streams as well. But yeah, I had to stream about this today just because this case needs more attention. It's too early, can't say yet. Yeah, I don't want to. Okay, so yeah, we've got some people not answering the poll because they don't want to speculate. Obviously, we have some people saying yes. We have 79% of the 40 people that have voted say yes to that. But I appreciate the people that that also don't want to vote, just because I get it. We don't know enough yet. But the situation is a little suspicious to me as well. So I think it's a possibility. But yeah, Holly, we need more information. I agree. Okay, well, guys, gals, we went over the map. We went through the deli. We watched some videos. This was a relatively quick stream. We're already going on a couple hours here, though, and so there's just not enough information about this out yet. The fact is that this case took several weeks to gain any sort of media attention. I hadn't heard about it until last night when Gabby's dad posted about it. And so that's just the problem with all of this, is there's so many missing people's cases, missing persons cases, missing children. This girl's considered a child at 14. That it's wild. It's like, when does it become a big enough story for people just in general to see it? And so I think when you do come across those photos that you see sometimes on Twitter about just a general missing person photo, give it a retweet. The earlier that people can see just information like that out on their timelines, that's super helpful, because that's how I saw it. I just saw it on Twitter last night. And so anyways, I had to hop on. I had to go live, and people were commenting. People were commenting about how many people are here. Look, I appreciate each and every one of you that have shown up, and I know sometimes there are better nights for streaming than other nights. But I will be jumping back on to obviously more around the Gabby Petito Brian Laundrie case, because we are all still so interested in the information that's going to come out on that case. And so we will be covering that. I'm going to be making more videos kind of around that as well. People want me to go into more detail about the dry bag. And so I have a few more angles of Chris and Roberta Laundrie going into the woods and finding the dry bag. And I know that that's some old news to some people, and some people are over that story, but I'm going to be covering it a bit more. So yes, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Deb, thanks, and everyone. Thanks, Aaron, and everyone for caring. Yes, thank you guys for coming. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking the stream. If you haven't, before you leave the stream, hit the like button one more time, or if you haven't already, it really helps out the stream. I'm going to keep this one short, so people can see the video after it goes live and potentially learn more about the case. So thanks to those who have joined. I'm going to say bye to some people as we're rolling out, but I'm going to end the stream here. I'll be in the chat. I'm going to end it, but I'm going to say bye to a few people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great evening. Nella, I saw the Cecil Hotel vid. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you all. Austria, over and out. Thank you, Corinna, Vicky. Thank you to the mods also, Alicia, Juicebox. Yeah, thank you guys so much. See you guys in the next one.